All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another broadcast of the American Ricci Mahjong League. Nathaniel here for about 5 minutes before I'll be joined by another broadcaster. But I've got Daniel in the broadcast and Jeffrey by my side. How's it going, Jeffrey?
Going good. It's been hopefully a nice, amazing night for some mahjong action tonight.
Absolutely. We've got an exciting table here, and I know there's going to be a ton of action with John. Ron John is our first dealer, Carl T to the right, Isabella across the table, and Blaine on our left. And it looks like this group has played a few games already, at least for some of the players. Carl is his first game this season, so it's going to be really exciting to see how things pan out. I know there's some exciting players at this table, players who like to create content. So I can't wait to see what happens. Really quickly zooming into the game here, scanning the board. I'm looking for exciting hands. Jeffrey, anything stand out to you?
It looks like the dealer just draw east, which is Dora, so that'll be interesting to see if they can pair that up. I'm sure they'll be happy with that. Then on the right-hand side, I'm seeing a lot of pairs and an unco of the Tumon, so also another hand that could, in fact, I think that's Ishan 10.
You're right.
So, nice draw there. We'll be able to. Then it looks like other than that, people are playing pretty standard here. A couple of Pinfu-like hands for most of the players.
Yeah, kind of interesting that we saw John pass up the first tune as it came out from Blaine on the left. Was not interested in speeding up the hand too quickly, but did call the second one.
Yeah, changed his mind, decided to call the second one there, and is now ready on the 4-7, which it looks like there's one of each left in the wall there. The rest of them are pretty solidly in people's hands. So
yeah, did have to give up the east, so not a tremendous amount to value this hand, but of course, as dealer, you're always looking to repeat.
Absolutely. As dealer, especially early on, you take a quick 1,000 points, repeat the dealership, stop anybody else from getting some value. You'll be pretty happy with that.
Kong.
Oh, Khan. Flips 3 Dora.
Ooh, that's scary. That's definitely scary. That's the big value swing there.
Oh, you knew we were going to see it tonight. John flipping 3 Dora. Now everyone's going to have to pay careful attention to that. It should be tempo. Now we're in the third row. Essentially two calls with the on-con of 8-mon. And you can see Blaine sitting there thinking he does not want to deal in, but the one so passed a couple turns ago, so still safe here.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone now is probably looking to play as safe as possible here, I would imagine. Ooh,
Still 2 tiles in the wall for 2.
Drops the 5.
Oh, and finally, tempi for Carl. He doesn't want to risk the 8-pin, but we'll play out the safe 9-pin. Oh, sorry, Carl's still Ishan 10. My bad.
Ooh, 6, that's a little, 6-mon, that's a little scary.
No.
6-pin instead.
Oh, but the Dama! Isabella diffuses the bomb.
Shuts down the big scary hand. And we'll move on to East 2. Ooh, that's a lot of solo Kokoshi tiles there.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough for John to repeat that hand. However, we'll see what happens maybe by the end of row 1. Carl in the dealer seat now has Itzu building, and that's a worse with excellent draw of the 1 so 4 so and 5 so. Outside of that could just be a Pinfu with the Dora. And hey, there's the Dora.
And there's the Dora for that Itsu hand, and dropping south, dropping south, and then gonna be looking to pick up either a connector tile for one of the pins. Speaking of which, there's one right there for pin. All right.
Calling tiles into hands at this point.
Hey, Mahjong's easy if you just draw all the tiles that you need in your hand. It's makes the game a lot easier.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if we can get Tenpai for Blaine, who is Ishenten right now.
Yeah, would really like the. Well, he's got 2 middleweights there, so not the greatest weight for him, but sometimes when you get Tenpai, sometimes you just slam the button and hope for the best.
That's at least an improvement in shape that into Tenpai. Does he like the 7-pin Kanchan?
Interesting decision here. Yep,
Dama.
that's just Dama for now. Ooh, another connector tall for dealer there.
Each.
Probably just take the Pinfu at this point.
Oh, gorgeous draw.
Yep, doesn't get much better than that for that's Blaine. Yeah, Blaine.
But of course, Carl will slam. Chasing Ricci. Ricci Pinfudora as dealer is excellent. A bit of shame to miss out on 2-3-4 Sanchoku chance, but instead the 1-pin's going to come out, suited to the dealer reach. And John playing defensively against dealer makes a lot of sense. Definitely deals into the cheaper of the 2 hands. So we'll still maintain a little bit of tension here as all the players are still relatively close to each other in East 3.
East 3, and Dora's East again. And dealer does have one, so we'll probably hang on to that for a little while, see if they can pair it up.
Always spicy when the round wind is the Dora. Always makes me a little nervous.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's a guaranteed Mangan if you're able to call that. Or
classic,
draw it.
Classic Mahjong. Drop the green dragon, draw the green dragon, and discard it again.
Seems that it happens 100% of the time, about 50% of the time.
Well, good hands around the board on the right. We might be seeing a Pinfu for Blaine. Across the way, John's working towards maybe another Ricci without too much value. Maybe that turns into Pinfu now with a 5, so draw. And on the left, Carl with a bunch of awkward tiles.
He's got a bunch of honor tiles that he's kind of through his hand here. We'll check back in a couple of draws and see how that's coming.
And well, while we're waiting for a Ricci to pop in, might be my opportunity to introduce the caster we'll be carrying out through the rest of the night. Michael's here. How's it going?
Hello, thank you. I was called in, so I am here, and I can help out and relieve you of duties, Nathaniel.
Appreciate it. Well, you come in, you give Isabella a door draw. This is looking pretty strong. I'll leave you to it, Michael. Good luck.
All right, thank you. So what do we have going on here? Looks like Blaine and Isabella have both won a few points. Could you recap me on what's going on here so far?
We've had a couple of cheap deal ins. I think one was 1,000 and one was 1,300. Shutting down some rather big hands. With there was a Dora set. So
yes,
hands, but
that can happen. Right now, so let's go around the table. Isabella has a Dora pair. Wants to call this double east. Right now, it looks like it is being held on the left, but I suspect as soon as it's dropped, will be called. Probably drop from the 2-2-3-3 shape.
Might be a little scary to drop that now. We're already halfway through second.
Yeah, it's getting quite late, but I think it depends on if they draw into Tenpai.
Of course.
On the right, potential looks like fairly close. That is Ishanten for Blaine, but a reach across the table for John.
Absolutely.
And that is a Ricci on
4-7
Mon. Pretty standard Pinfu hand there.
And it looks like most of the sevens are still in the wall, so could definitely,
yeah. So we see a chase. On the 1-4 so from Blaine.
Speaking of 7 Mon, there's one, but it fits nicely into that hand, so it won't be coming out.
Sumo.
Well, there's the sumo.
Sumo for Blaine.
Very nice. No Uradora?
Ipad Sumo, no Ura, so that is 4,000 plus sticks.
4,000 plus 2 sticks. 6,000 points, and then moving into dealer. Well, sitting nice going into East 3.
Yeah, not a bad position to be in.
And
Um,
interesting high pie here. Lots of Pinzu.
yeah, interestingly missing connections in there's a missing 4 and a missing 6 here, but still pretty powerful hand. Could definitely hedge Chinitsu with this hand.
Yeah, probably. If it was me, I'd probably start calling
Yeah,
triplets.
here's the decision point. Do you call this one? And he does. So
Looks
we
like it.
are committing. Let's
Looking at the
see.
other hands now. Also, the player on the right is Ranjan is also pretty. Got a pretty good hand
Ishan
here.
for a potential 3-sided weight in the Manzu.
Ooh, is he gonna
And
hang on to the fourth tile for now?
yeah, across the way, looks like 2 Shanten for probably Ricci Dora 1. Not the greatest shapes in the world.
Not the greatest. Has a little work to do still on that hand.
And on the left, that is, I believe, 2 Shanten.
It's either 2 or 3, but there is a door in that hand.
There's a
so
Dora, but it's going to be
very
it's going to be
disconnected.
hard to connect
Yeah,
because even if you draw a 7, it just connects to the middle so shape.
right. So probably has a decision here pretty soon on whether to drop it or not. Ooh, picking up an 8 on the right.
I'm not sure about John's 1 cut there.
It's
This
a little awkward, but he might. Well, you think
It's
he's
still
looking
Ishan 10. It's now Ishan 10 for Tanyao. That's why you would make that cut.
right? Trying to pick up Tanya value as well with this hand.
But the Tanyao hand as it stands needs to wait on the 5-8, so and the 8 is the Dora indicator and already once cut otherwise.
He'd probably be happy if he drew the last 2 mon. You get
That would
Ipeko
also
would have been nice, but he does
well,
get.
let's see.
Let's see what he does here with this one. No, decides to not take the tempai there.
The last Tremon would also work. That's an interesting shape, but yeah, that would be Peiko. So I did actually miss that draw.
Yeah, Ipeko, Pinfu. Would be
Right.
interesting. Well,
Reach on for 7 so. That weight is looking pretty depleted at this point.
the dealer is now also Tempai Dama 7-pin. 2 of those out, so we're still waiting on. We got 2 of those out somewhere in the wall.
That's a little unfortunate for Blaine that he ended up on that weight for what ended up being a pretty cheap hand if he wins it this way.
Yeah, rather interesting. I wonder if he would consider calling the East if it came out, and
I mean,
just
he
putting the
should.
7.
That would be a huge value upgrade.
Last few draws coming up.
John trying to play it safe does not appear to trust this 1 so against the Ricci.
Well, there's one of the 7s. Not going to come out.
Yeah, does not come out.
Ote, nope. We're just going to go to Rikoku. Exchange 1,500 points. But we will get a dealer repeat.
Not the result Blaine was looking for, but not so bad overall.
Not terrible. Ooh, another interesting high pie here for dealer.
Boom.
A little awkward. 3 pairs is not the ideal amount of pairs, but
it is not. Well, 4 pairs the ideal amount of pairs? Not so much, huh?
Not so much. But luckily, the thing is, a lot of these pairs are connected here. So depending on what you draw, you've got a
Yeah,
little bit of
just
flexibility.
uh,
Well, if he's just gonna
well,
keep drawing pairs,
this hand might just be cheat toy now. And in
might
fact, yeah, that cut is a commit.
looking at the other hands here, we've got on the right a couple of awkward tiles, but it's starting to shape up
Six,
across.
seven, well, 6, 7, or 7, 8, 9 Sanchoku would have been a thing, but John does not believe.
Apparently
Cut
not.
the 9 so there.
Across the way, looks like we're going for a flush. Call and go hand. And then on the right, probably just green
Probably
dragon.
just
Call and go.
Hatsudora 1 on the
Yeah.
left.
That would make sense. So,
But is not going to get that green. So actually won't be Hatsudora 1.
Yep, or it looks like we're mochi there, so it's going to slow down both of those hands quite a bit, actually.
Yeah. That hand across the way really needs that call to actually move into position to win. The 8 is an interesting draw. I think they should cut. Yeah, I think that you should keep the distant Rianpeiko possibility alive here by keeping the 8 Mon as Blaine.
Redraws the 6 Mon. Could drop this back to a more normal hand.
It's possible. It really needs a 5-pin or to complete an Anko somewhere.
Yeah, it's really looking for a 5-pin, and then may consider just playing a normal hand here. Well, there's the 8 Mon.
Rianpeiko Ishanten.
Drop the 4-so, absolutely.
But is Tenpai on 6 Mon in
Is
the meantime?
Tenpai on the 6 Mon in the meantime?
Which...
Each.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh, so we are going Ipeiko, reach Ipeiko now.
G-Peiko, yep.
Yeah, I'm not...
I know, that's a little weird.
I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan of this play. I think it results from the awkwardness. Well,
paid off. There's the last.
Sumo. 2,000 all.
No Urdora, 2,000 all.
I wish I hit like that.
And another dealer repeat.
Boom.
So Blaine draws into 2 Dora here, but in the awkward 1-2-2-3 shape.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely the worst dealer hand he's had so far, even though there's quite a few connected tiles, but it's still kind of an awkward hand.
Right.
On the left, got quite a few honors that we gotta filter out.
Right, yeah. I think the hand on the... John's hand looks pretty standard once the junk is cleared out.
Yeah.
Has a pair surplus at the moment, but that can be addressed. Across the way, we are just calling. We are calling for a pin in Honitsu. That's a pretty straightforward hand.
Yeah, that's pretty sure most everyone would just, with that hand, would just call that.
And the hand on Isabella's hand is Ishanten, but is likely to end up on this Kanchan So Wait, which isn't so good.
Yeah,
for no value.
Yeah, would really like to draw the 8-so and
Boom.
then you could decide if you wanted to wait on the 4 Mon only or possibly.
Yeah, we are killing that shape, but the Honitsu across the way got into Tenpai on the Chun while I was blabbing and wins Mangan. So
wins a Mangan off the leader, makes a big comeback, goes into second place. And for the third time this game, we've got East Dora again.
Right.
Well, it is South round now, but round Dora is always scary.
So John here, not quite a Pinfu hand while this 2-4 Kanchan is in play, but possible 2-3-4 Sanshoku. Though that 2-4 Kanchan likely just going to get cut at some point if the upper so fills in anymore.
Likely. We have an interesting hand across the way there. Well, quite a few pairs. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pairs.
That's looking pretty cheatoy to me.
Looking pretty cheap toy. If you get the right draw, you might consider going for toy with 9 south.
Looks like that's the way we might be heading here. Or it could just be a call for south only. We'll have to see
Could be south
where
only.
she takes it.
Could also be half flush. Again, kind of depends on what your next couple of draws
Right.
are. Ooh, a nice 3-pin pickup for.
Oh yeah, that helps
around
out
the
that
rim.
hand a decent bit.
Very much so.
Blaine's hand's still struggling a little bit.
Yeah, starting to be second row and still kind of struggling. May even consider just playing defensive here.
It looks like Blaine is hedging 1-2-3 Sanshoku here, but it's hurting the efficiency of the hand a bit.
Yeah, would have to draw 3 specific tiles to get that to work.
Yeah, that's a tough sell.
Not giving up yet, but may, if at the first sign of danger, might just decide to fold this hand. And
John currently sitting on a headless Ishanten.
5-pin or 5 so doesn't help.
Yeah, ended up keeping that Kanchan and would have drawn into Tenpai, I think, on that 5 so or that 8 so had he kept the 5, 6, 7, 8 shape. There.
Meanwhile, Isabella did call for Tenpai here. Oh well, no, dropped out of it. Decides they are gonna go for the half flush instead.
Yeah, I mean it's a sensible value play. You just kind of wish you committed earlier.
She hasn't. Well, she had the 9 pair drop early, but hasn't dropped a lot of Monzu yet. So
It does look like there was a Hatsu backfire.
Yes.
Blaine calling for the 1-2-3, though I think it's probably too late for that. Well, gonna get a 3 right now though.
Yep, takes a 3. So we'll be waiting on the 2.
It is Tenpai, miraculously.
Yep, there's 1 left in the wall. So could draw the last one. Of course, if it was me playing, it would be in the dead wall. There's a like 90% chance that last one's in the dead wall.
It can feel like that sometimes for sure. Okay.
Tenpai,
Isabella call into Tenpai. 5-8 mon.
There's no more 8s.
The 8 is dead.
But the 5.
The 5 is live. More live than you might expect it to be at this point.
2 5s left. Decides to switch to.
Swaps
east,
to the dead east
which
for
is
K10. I must not have noticed that must have miscounted.
Yeah, it might have been low on time and just had to make a decision.
I think it was a miscount of probably just missed an east in her scan of the pawns here.
It happens to everybody.
And is really kicking herself now probably.
Yeah, that would have been the win. That happens to everybody, most definitely. Draws the 4. Well, that would have been helpful earlier, but that was the last draw, so dealer's not gonna quite make it to Tenpai here. And just drop a safe tile.
Yep.
All right, moving on to South 2. We'll get a switch over to the dealer hand here. There we go. And let's see. We've got Sanso Dora indicator, so 4 so, but nobody has any of those yet. So we'll have to see where who draws that. The dealer would really like one, 4, 5, 6 distance on Shoku Chance. Maybe not with the 7 draw.
Hand on the right is just a mess.
Hand on the right, yeah. Got a lot of work to do. Across the way, we've got again 3 pairs. Not amazing, not horrible. There's some drew a couple connecting tiles. Definitely a playable hand. And on the left, Ranjan actually.
Strong Manzu shape.
Yeah, that might be one of the better hands on the table. That might be the best hand on the table here. Either that or the dealer hand, one or the other.
Could be called for Tanya, but John kind of needs more value than that at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's South 2. I mean, it depends on when exactly you draw and what you draw, but would really like to draw Dora right now. Actually.
Yeah, the Dora would fit quite nicely.
If you draw the Dora, I'd probably drop the 110 and see what we can get here.
In the meantime,
Each.
this is Tenpai.
He is gonna
It's
take it.
not
Not
great,
great.
but
It is early, so
if it's early, I think this is an understandable slam.
right. But we do have three of the 3 pins are already in people's hands and probably not coming out.
Yeah, this unlikely to be a sumo. We'll have to just see if anybody fights against it.
Of course, it is a dealer Ricci, so probably less incentivized to push against the dealer Ricci. See what we get here. Well, the 5 does
The
fit into
8,
that.
yeah, okay. So
Ooh, now there's a little bit of danger of maybe a 3 coming out. It depends on what else they draw here. Meanwhile, across the way, that hand's starting to make some good progress here. They might
it's
also.
starting to look like something, but so what's the status on the north? Once cut, because that hand could end up on the 6-so north Shanpon, which would be so yeah, that's
Right.
the Tenpai that Blaine has right now.
Yeah. I'm actually might consider reaching that.
Ends up Dama on
Goes
that
for Dama
weight.
for now, so he would have to get
I'm wondering what the plan is.
right.
Because you could make a case to Ricci this and hope that
The last
someone
north comes
folds the
out.
last north into your Ricci.
Each.
No, this is an Intotsu. This is a better weight, and it has more value.
Right.
So this should be a Ricci.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That definitely makes sense because there you've got the 3, 6, and the north weight,
Right.
and you got an extra. No, never mind. You drew the 5, not the 4.
So I actually.
Oh, this is technically Tenpai here on the right.
That's interesting. Does not take it.
Decides to not take it.
Does
But
not like the because it involves cutting Dora. So
yeah, and
I do get it.
And there's 2 reaches on the board.
Yeah.
And there are not many draws left. I definitely understand folding that. There's the last north right there.
Well, plan successful for Blaine. Picks up an Ura. That hit actually hurts quite a bit.
That's going to put him the only person over 30k going into South 3. So big hand there for Blaine. All right. 7 Mon Dora this time. It doesn't appear to be any of them out. Dealer hand has got quite a bit of work to do here.
Yeah. Yes.
Not the dealership you were looking for. On the right, on the other hand, that's looking pretty standard hand. May go for Tanya, especially since you're in the lead. You can just go for a cheap hand. Gives you a little more flexibility. And then across the way, a lot of
Quite a bit of junk still to clear out.
Yeah, it's been drawing well so far, and if it continues to draw well, I might be able to make something out of that hand. And then
The
on the left, we've got
interesting,
Carl.
I was just about to say, the interesting thing about both the across hand and the left hand is they were holding this 8/9 Mon Penchant, which waits on Dora, and it's like, how long do you keep that shape?
Right. It's that's always one of the hardest questions in mahjong is how long do I keep the hold up if
So
somebody's gonna drop the door for me?
the left player should be thinking Itsu here, and so I
That, appear-
think
that appears to be what's going on.
I would not be surprised to see the 5 months swapped out for something a little less hot next go around.
1.
Well, too late.
Yep. That's gonna be just the 3 pin. And Ricci no Mi as well. No, Ricci Dora 1, excuse me. But, when you're in first place, it's good to put pressure on the table. See if somebody
Yeah, I
makes a
think it's
mistake.
fine. Ricci Dora 1. That's it. Yeah, with Dora 1,
Mm-hmm.
this is a standard Ricci, I think.
Yeah, like I said, you're in first. Put pressure on the table. See if somebody makes a
Yeah.
mistake. Definitely a good plan.
Does not like the 9, so decides to bail.
Yeah, went with the one so which had already come out. It's just trying to. It looks like they might be folding.
Yeah, this is bailing.
Yeah, with the 8
Or at
so
least
I believe so.
you're not playing for your Itsu anymore.
Besides, yeah, now it's dropping the 9s. Could possibly come back with a Tanyao here, but most likely is just trying to drop safe tiles, not deal in. Maybe try to win the last hand. Ooh, the 2 Mon puts the dealer in Ishanten, looking to try to get there for the Rikyoku at the end. Still 2-3 pins out there somewhere.
Are we gonna get both of them dead walled?
Last one, nope.
Nope.
Don't throw it.
Should be north or some other or 6 so just came out.
Yeah, 6, yep,
Yeah.
6, that'll make sense. Alright. As I said, Blaine put pressure on the table. Most everyone folded out. He gets 3,000 points. Moving on to all last. Of course, now he has to not win a hand, but not lose enough points that he drops. So a little bit of an awkward, but he is quite far in the lead. So someone would have to have a massive hand here.
Yeah, so you want the full plus 20 Uma, but if Toyman or Kamicha fight for 30k, it's as long as they don't get it off of you.
Yeah, if I was in this position, I'd just be thinking, just don't deal in. Let everyone else fight. Let whoever wins wins. Just don't deal in. Take your points. So probably we'll just play defensively here. Drop all
Play a
these.
bit conservatively.
Yeah, drop all
here.
these terminal tiles and looks like he's even trying to maybe hang on to some of the valuable honors and see if one pairs up, and then I can just call it. Yeah, let's see, just like this.
Well, there you go.
Just call it.
Wish granted. John is Ishanten, not maybe so
Pwn.
that Pwn.
Drops the 8.
Not the Ishanten he wants, I suspect.
It's a little rough. It's a little rough. Although if you get the, well, no.
1.
Toyman can call this, but at the moment doesn't have value.
Right.
Hold on. So non-Dora 1 plus is not enough to overtake,
Yeah.
or to take second, except sumo or direct hit, I believe.
Yeah, I think if he direct hit, it would be enough to take
W-
second.
With the pot, sumo also may be enough.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's true. There's 1300 in the center, so that might be enough. I'm not.
It's a tough plan because you don't have the Dora yet. You need to wait on it.
Right, right. Is definitely hoping to draw here. If you draw it, you're smiling to yourself, but until you get it, you're a little it's a little awkward.
Henpai for Blaine.
By for Blaine, just east it looks like. It would be but would pick up all the tips in the center, so that helps. That makes it less likely that somebody's going to be able to get something that's going to upset your win. Even a couple thousand points can make a big difference sometimes. And could also just be you could also possibly be shutting down someone's big hand that they've been building this whole time. You never know.
Interesting call decision for Carl. Decides not to take it.
リーチ
Yeah, it's definitely looking to, as we said, definitely looking to direct hit the person in second to try to take over
Okay.
and not just in the game there.
Isabella rewarded for not greeting the Dora with the Sanmanchan, which is not. That's probably going to win right here, unless
I would
Blaine
think
folds. Oh,
no.
Blaine.
Against the Ricci, he plays
Not the safest tile.
well to the door. It's 3 away from the door tile is probably why. I think the only guaranteed tile he had that was safe would be the 6 mon.
The 6 mon.
Oh. Decided to risk the Suji 4-pin there. Suji, that was the word I was looking for. Has to make a decision now, though.
So let's see what's left for Isabella's weight. The 8s are out. The 2s are out. So actually, 2-5
Three,
pin.
three, 3-5. No, yeah, 3-5. So there's 1-5 left to draw.
Oh, right, 1-5 in her hand already. So yeah, one left.
Yep.
Nope.
Doesn't get it.
Ah,
We'll
well,
take.
so close to 30K, but not
Yep,
quite.
just shy. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. So that means Blaine's gonna come up with a nice win here.
Yeah, Blaine does in fact get um, the full only like plus 20 UMA for being the only player on top.
And it looks like they just booted up and started a second game right after that. So maybe we can go ahead and pop into that one. There we go. There's our points there. It'll be a negative second, but basically a 0 second. So not terribly upset.
Just a moment while we get back into the Arma lobby.
All right.
All
Looks
right,
like
and we are set to go on our next game. Isabella, first dealer.
Isabella first deer with a Dora in hand, so we'll be pretty happy with that. Looks like a fairly standard hand here. Probably just looking for Tempine Breach as soon as possible. On the right, we got quite a few honors. If you get a second pair up there, would definitely make that hand interesting. As it is, probably you could either go for a
Pump.
standard play or just take the white dragon and go with that. Then Ranjaran across the way there just takes green dragon, call and go hand here. And on the left, actually not a bad hand there either. Has a couple of middleweights that's gonna slow the hand down, but other
Right.
than that, not terrible.
What do you think about for Isabella keeping the 7 Mon instead of one of these Forsos to give yourself a chance to avoid this Champon weight?
That's definitely an option.
Well, you would have missed Tenpai here, so.
Yeah, apparently you made the right decision.
Champon not great with your terminal once out already.
Yeah, one Mon is out already, and then Ranjan is also in Tenpai now, also waiting on an 8 or 6, but the 6s are Mochi Mochi, the 6-0s.
Dueling Champons, not great ones. Though
Nope.
the 8, so if people the Suji against Isabella's Ricci looks a little bit less trappy with the 9 and the 7 already in the pond.
Right.
So
Yeah, an 8 might come out if somebody draws on it and it doesn't fit in their hand. Well, there's the last one.
well, unfortunate for Blaine that he ended up drawing that one.
We'll get
Ouch.
an Ura too. That hurt.
Ura hurts.
Yep. That's a big point increase there. That one Ura makes a big difference.
Yeah, Ura, like the increase to 77 is like the biggest Ura value increase in the game.
Most definitely. So we're gonna get a dealer repeat for Isabella here, and another pretty good starting hand. It's got a couple of middleweights, but I mean, out of a lot of hands that I've drawn recently, I definitely enjoyed this as a dealer. And then on the right, got a lot of honor tiles. Probably work on discarding. Well, it did pair up the red dragon, so might just be looking at that now. Or if you draw really lucky, you could maybe go half flush, but you're kind of dreaming on that one.
Really, probably looking at that 6-8 cut and being like, why didn't I have another tile in upper so to call those?
Right, exactly.
Now he has it, but you don't get a chance. You don't get the chance to chi back. So
yeah, it'd be a way different game if you could just take any tile that was in the discard. Right. I was teaching some people Mahjong the other day, and they kept trying to take tiles that were discarded 2 or 3 rounds ago, and I'm like, no, you can only take the current tile. And they're like, oh, that's way harder. And I was like, yeah, that's the point.
It certainly is. This like understandable Honitsu shift for Carl. It feels like a stretch at this point. It's already
definitely feels like a stretch, but
that draw helps a lot. So
drops the 2-pin instead of the 9-pin. I probably would have kept the 2-pin instead.
This is full commit. We don't need that block. We don't need this tile.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's like I probably still would have kept the 2 just in case I draw the red and decide to just go for red only.
Right.
But I definitely understand. Just get it out of my hand. I've already decided what I'm doing here.
Okay. We swap to a Dora pair in the dealer hand, which
definitely
leaves us a pretty awkward Ishan 10 here.
It's a little awkward, but I mean, it's definitely the right call to keep the door up there.
Yeah, it's just
It's just now you're like, well, what do I do now? Do I
please just draw 5 mana and fix my problem.
Yeah, 5 mon, then you could wait on the 1/8. Another option is if you draw like a good middle tile that doesn't give you fur 10 worries, you could just say, forget the one dot pair.
Yeah.
But has not been drawing the tiles that he needs for that yet.
No, and Blaine is also
Although the 7, yeah, there you go. 7.
okay. Much less awkward now.
Yeah, that feels a little better. Especially we're getting into row 3 now, so you're definitely wanting to look at good weights.
Carl actually kind of not playing fully offensively with this hand here.
Yeah,
He's kind of playing around.
Apparently, he
thinks
seems.
that 6 is dangerous.
Yeah, I was gonna say he seems to think that the 6 mon is dangerous, which I guess is fair considering what's out already. The 6 does look a little sketchy. There's not. I mean, there. Well, most of the 4s are out, but that's. Yeah, 6/6 is a little difficult to let go. I can understand the hesitation here.
2 also. Yeah, it's just out actually here. Quite a defensive posture for Carl on East 1. I'm not saying it's wrong.
No,
Wouldn't be how I played it, but
it's definitely a fair position to take. Everyone plays. Some people play more aggressive. Some people play more defensive. I tend to play more aggressive towards the start of the game and more defensive towards the end. Everyone has their own style, and you have to play your style.
Boom.
Yep.
this pawn means you have to cut Dora here, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you are just saying, yeah, whatever, give me my 2100 points.
I mean, the shapes here are too good to not call that, I think. I mean, you drop 3 pin here, yeah, and you pretty much just call anything here.
Yeah, hope the pawn the 8.
It'd be real nice. Yeah, it'd be real nice if you get another pair. You can maybe consider toy, but I mean, the shapes are just so good that
Anything else of interest on the board? Isabella calls. Looks like that is 2 Shanten still, or
yeah. Well, the 2.
Now it's 2 Shanten, I think.
Yeah, that definitely helps. 3 on there helps that hand out. People seem to be drawing helpful tiles, so interesting decision for the 5 here. Yeah, it goes ahead and tosses it. Another Dora drop. So Tanya on the right for Ranjan. All right, decision here. Does decide to keep it.
That cutting the 5/6 is really curious to me.
Yeah, I think it's a tough choice because I mean.
Well, that's Tenpai.
Yeah, that's a really good tempi there. Apparently, it was the right decision. Although, well, a couple of the 6s are out. A couple 6s and a 3 are out already, so it's not as you're not amazed by it, but
yeah, not ideal.
Not ideal, but
I'm a little curious about why the 5/6 came out. That feels like a gut read that shape isn't good for some reason.
Boom.
Goes ahead and calls the 5 so. So now we're waiting on 4/8.
They must think. Okay, so there was a read. The 3/6s look like they're already. That weight isn't as good as I thought.
Right.
maybe this wait's better.
It is, unbeknownst to him, it is not. There's two 8s across the way, so the 8s are dead, and one of the 4s is over here in
Each.
Ranjan's hand. So, although it's
Boom.
going to come out right now because he's in Tenpai. So, yeah. Turns out we were all wrong, and
That's how this goes. I think every time I'm like, I don't know if that play was optimal, it works.
it
So
works every time. Yeah, when you start second guessing yourself, things always seem to work out, and you're like, man, I don't. But that's why mahjong is so interesting sometimes. Sometimes the suboptimal play is the correct play, even as much as we. Ooh, very interesting. Ranjan's hand here. Art started with
yeah, that's
3 reds and 2 greens.
we'll have
Uh,
to see what happens with the other two Haku. Where are they? Like, if he
Absolutely.
draws one, we're definitely in danger, like, zone, because having pocket, like, having a pocket, like an Anko of one of the dragons is how these things happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's a hand to keep an eye on. Of course, across the way there, Blaine also has a pair of East and a pair of Souths in his hand. And
Boom.
I imagine you call the green. Yep, makes sense.
So it looks like okay, so John's going to call into we are not trying for we are not greeting Honitsu Shosangen.
Yep. No, I don't.
So
I mean,
we are not going full bore greed here.
yeah. I mean, he's Ishanten.
Well,
Well, no, change his
maybe
mind.
we are actually.
I was gonna say, I was like, if you're an Ishanten,
You
I would
kind of
just.
wish you had that one back if that's the decision you're going to make.
Hmm. That's a bit of an odd shift to me, but sometimes it works out. Ooh, another pair draw here for the dealer.
It's like, hey, you wanna adjust your decision there? Reconsider the 5? This one should be called. Oh, does not. Oh, we are out because of the Honitsu.
Either that or yeah, Honitsu could be reading that, or could just be Chitoy, and I want the one because it's easier to get that. In fact,
That's true, and maybe that's actually Chitoy play.
yeah, I mean, in fact,
I
here it is
didn't.
right here. If you drop west, you'd be 10 pi on the one mon. You only
Each.
see one on
He's
the board.
considering it.
Yeah.
Sumo.
Wow.
Oh,
Big payoff for John. Baimon.
oh, Paimon. Little
Shosangen
dragons.
Honitsu Dora 2. That Dora draw for John is clutch. Absolutely. Because like there was that one drop that kept him from being 10 pi a turn or two earlier, but the wall fixes you know, the wall forgives sometimes.
Sometimes. I just wish it would happen to me more often. But we are moving into East 3. And Ranjan, who just won this big hand, may just be looking at Red Dragon here, most likely.
Most likely. Dora
Otherwise,
acceptance, so I suspect he'll keep the 6 around for a decent bit of
yeah,
time here.
keep the 6 as long as possible here. On the right, we've got 2 honor pairs. One of them is round wind, so also looking like
so
a half
the
flush.
8 cut is a Honitsu commit.
Yeah.
Or at least it feels like one, unless a Dora just happens to fall into your hand.
Right. I was like, it depends on what you draw here the next couple turns, because it feels a little weird to just give it up for no reason. Especially since your 9 so isn't connected to anything right now.
Unfortunately, the problem for Blaine is I just noticed the East is already gone.
Yeah, that's right. The East was
So
2 East was discarded
this
turn 1.
this if called
Pump.
would be okay. So
Now, yeah, now,
unfortunately, this is
Pump.
just Bakahon now because of the East.
right.
So this feels a little bad.
Yeah. Still, I'd still probably play it that way. It
I
feels a
mean,
little bad, but
I'm
I
not
don't know
sure
what
if
else.
he has.
I don't know what other option you
I
would go
think
for.
he's you know kind of cut he made the decision. You know, you see the Easts are gone, you call anyway.
Right. Well, that's not quite.
Not quite. No,
Of course,
it's Ishanten.
while we've been looking at Blaine's hand here, Isabella hand's been shaping up pretty nice here as well.
Let's see.
Is
Oh, that is
Ishanten technically?
Ishanten. That's
I mean, if you draw the
Beachy.
3,
yeah. So that's
yeah,
if you drew the 3, you would
Yeah.
cut the 6 mon for the 7-8 mon weight.
right. Since you drew the 4, yeah, you drop the 2, and yep.
Right. That makes
Two-sided.
sense.
Absolutely.
Interesting time for Blaine to draw Dora. Just pushes
Don't.
it.
Let's decide to push it.
Oh, but drew into Tenpai in the meantime. That's why. Okay.
Yep. Gets rewarded. Does win the. That would be half flush only. But won some of those points back that he lost earlier, so it's going to be happy with that. Taking his first dealership. We have another honor door. There's been quite a few of those
Quite a few, yeah.
today. And we do start with it. It is north, so it's a little awkward because we can't win with north, but the rest of our hand is looking really good. So
Ah, but they say Pei Tonki is the best Tonki, so
they
you
do
know,
say that. You
I
are
don't know if you can argue with what they say.
I think you dropped the 1 mon here. Okay, 8, so that's fine too. I may have hung on to that for a little bit longer, but I'm not gonna say I'm the best mahjong player ever. So let's see. Looking at our other hands, we do have an East pair for Isabella, and the rest of that hand isn't too bad. There's a 7/9 in the mon. That's not too great.
I'm not particularly thrilled with any of these hands, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they all have a bit of work. I mean, the dealer's hand is obviously the best hand here.
Blaine's hand is fine.
Yeah, the
Very
other
it's this Ishanten or no, it's now we're Ishanten.
now,
Sorry.
yeah, now we're Ishanten. You drop the 4. Yep.
Okay, now we're looking okay.
Mhm.
Not a ton of value, but Tanyao Pinfu or potential
Potential
or
time now.
Pinfu potential Tanyao is okay.
Yeah. And I mean, you slam Ricci all day on that, of course.
Beach.
But well, Carl will get there first, so that's
That
gonna
is
be 6
only
and
on the 6, and actually Blame is in danger if he pushes here.
Yep. It's gonna be
Ah,
that might
saved.
save him. Yep, that might save him.
Beach.
Ricci this. Yep, you slam this 3-sided weight. No, nope, sorry, 2-sided.
No, just 6-9. But the small blessing of drawing into your perfect Ishanten acceptance to spare you the deal-in.
Absolutely. Well, the 9s are now dead.
Con? Safety con? Psychic damage con?
Wait, can you rub? No, you can't.
No con.
No. Yeah, no con. So the nines are dead, but the sixes, he has the only six out so far, so actually has a good chance of drawing a six. There's one of them. That's
There's
not
one.
looking
Yeah.
out, though. Probably drops. Well, actually, no. There's no east out yet. That's a little scary.
Yeah, the east. So the east is Shompai, so that's
Mhm.
why it hasn't come out
Right.
from either John or Isabella.
Right. Would be a little.
Especially, it's just every time, and this is not
Sumo.
from personal experience or anything, every time double east reaches and you say, there's no way they have that.
They always have it every time. I understand. But he does. The dealer did draw one of those aforementioned sixes and gets a Mangan out of it. So Blaine feeling pretty good, and then draws another great high pie, and with two Dora.
Yeah, like, I wish I got high pies this good.
So it's definitely just going to. Yep.
So you
drop
cut the two, but you really don't want this penchant.
No.
I mean,
I mean the two was just disconnected. Well, now you feel a little bad, but still not terrible. You don't feel terrible.
I think the two was the right cut.
Yeah.
I think early on you could decide to cut the penchant, but you don't want to cut it for a two. I think usually, maybe a three or better, like a more middle tile.
All right, and then looking at the other hands, the hand on the right, still a little bit of a mess. Trying to look at drawing some better tiles.
This is probably worth switching off the penchant for. Yep.
Right. Yep. That makes sense. And across the way, Carl is also he's got not a lot of Sozu, but other than that, got some middle weights that he's got to fill out. Well, doesn't keep the 4. Interesting. Oh, he already discarded the 3. That's why, because that would
Rewarded. What a draw for
Eat.
Blaine. Just slam this.
Yep, 100%. 5-8. The only one showing would be the door indicator. So.
Once cut
sorry.
in John's pond.
Yep, that's right.
But still, not too bad. Not too bad.
I mean, that's as far as you know, 6 tiles out there somewhere.
Right.
Of course, we can see 2 of the 5s, so. But still pretty good odds here. That's 4 tiles available to draw.
Sumo.
There it is.
Just sumo. This will be another pretty damaging hand, even with no Uda.
Very nice hand. And now is definitely gaining ground on the dealer here. That's let's see, 7.
John had such a good lead, and then Blaine just sumos himself right back up there.
Absolutely. That's why you never give up.
I think best hand of this lot might be Isabella's.
Yeah, the dealer hand isn't great, but it's not horrible. And he just drew a second Dora, so he's definitely looking to play it. And Carl has quite a few Manzu options here, but has a bunch of
If Blaine can actually end up converting on this hand, we might see another Mangan Sumo. Yeah, this should be the okay.
Then let's
probably wondering where the other whites are, though it's still early enough that they could be buried.
Yeah. I mean, best case scenario, you draw like 7 pin here, and then you see what else you draw. And
Carl draws the last Dora, so Blaine not going to be getting a pawn of the Dora at least. Though Carl's not being given a real avenue to actually use the Dora except Chitoy, 4 pairs.
Yeah, I was
Not
just
really seeing an alternate
thing.
path for that hand.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward hand.
Boom.
Well,
Wow, these draws, man.
what do you do here? Probably the 9-8.
8 or that whole shape is
Yeah,
useless, so probably cut from 8 out.
yep, that makes sense. Definitely the weakest of the shapes. So
You are really ready to just
Sumo.
cheat anything as Blaine, and you don't get to. Because John sumos his Kanchan.
sumo only. You don't see that very often, but he's ready to get Blaine off of the dealership. He was getting too close, threatening his first place. Time to get him off. Move the game along. Now we're in South round.
These dealer high pies are really just hitting tonight.
Yeah, wow, that's
3, 4.
Ishanten?
Yeah, just beat Ishanten already.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you actually want to cut the 8-mon there, but it probably won't matter too much.
Yeah. There's actually a chance you could get Sanshoku out of this if you draw correctly.
Yeah, if you draw maybe
You need the 5/6 bond, and then
right. Carl's hand is a disaster. John's isn't too much better, though has 2 Dora, so would like to become, he's gonna try his best, but we'll have to see how it goes.
yeah, Blaine's hand is doing pretty good here, other than the 4/6 pin shape.
リーチ
But
Yeah,
Isabella
no,
will-
this acceptance here was too wide for this to not. Well, I say too wide for it to not, complete first, but that's not always how that works. Is waiting possibly on Dora, but 3 held, so more likely to sumo on the cheaper end.
that one's not coming out though, because it fits nicely into Blaine's hand. Out comes the 4/6. It's still a pretty big hand. Ricci, Tanyao. Nope, just Ricci Tanyao. Unless you get the last Dora. But there's always a chance that an Urdora here, Urdora would be another.
Oh.
Ooh, a second 5. Yep, 6 makes sense.
No, there's the dealer hand is also pinfu. The 3 pin is the head.
Right, exactly. You're right. So it's actually 3 Han.
Yeah.
So.
The chat was angry that
Whoopsies.
pinfu was missed temporarily there. Don't worry, chat, we got it.
It felt like I was missing something. I was like, come on, this has got to be more than a 2 Han hand. It turns out I was. Ooh, let's see. Pairs up the green. Interesting. Okay. Oh, wow, he's just throwing.
Blaine is not being given, well, is able to dance around this a little bit, though the 6 is not safe.
Kang.
This is funny.
He probably deals in here, right?
Well, if you just the 3 is now Suji.
Oh, right. Yep.
So the 3 is relatively safe entry. Just create your own Suji.
Healer has another Dora now with that con as well, so big hand if they can get the. Let's see. Is there one more? I think there's one more 5 still.
If Blaine sumos the last 6-0, I'm going to like
Boom.
lose my mind because that's the kind of shit that would happen.
Just gonna take Ryukoku there. And moving into the next hand. Still not a bad high pie for dealer here.
It might be the well,
It's one of the weaker ones we've seen today, but
it still is probably better than 2 other high pie on the table, which
oh, most definitely.
yeah.
And I mean, you're starting out with a Dora in hand. I mean, you get a 2. Well, that was the draw. I was just about to say.
Just fill those.
Yeah, 2 pin, and now you're pretty happy.
Already Ishan 10.
Looking for a connector. There, you've got a connector tile.
Better
so,
Ishan 10.
Yep.
Well, never mind about, about it not being that great.
We do have Carl on the right that's been drawing pairs, though, so. Well, Andrew a connector for the 7 pins, so. Yeah, just gonna
I
play
think
standard
that should
now.
have been 8-so from Carl. I really want to fix the Dora into that shape.
Yeah, 8 pin might have been a little better there than the 3 mon if you weren't gonna go for the Chitoy. Then across the way, Ranjan has been getting rid of honor tiles. Still hasn't made much.
8-so, Carl? No. Oh, I guess the 1 is still floating. The 1 is floating, so.
Yeah, the one. Isabella hasn't been able to draw a good tile in a while yet.
You don't want this perfect Ishan 10. I'm being very opinionated about this hand.
Goes ahead and drops a 7. 9 so.
That doesn't help.
Well, I got the 5 pin,
Each.
so is gonna reach. Is he gonna drop? Yep, drops the 8.
And from all the tiles lighting up, 1 9 left in the wall.
1 9 left in the wall. Another instance of it looking not too bad because you see the 1 6 and 1 9.
You know, I lived
Each.
in blissful ignorance of how bad all my weights were in Mahjong until I started commentating.
リーチ
Exactly. It's like
Sumo.
this has got to be a good way. That's right.
Just find it.
Yeah, there it is. Just in time, everyone was getting into Tenpai, and it was gonna be a fight. But we'll just shut that down right now. Move on to South 2. Red Dragon Dora indicator. So these green dragons may be. Nope, gonna get rid of it now.
Nothing here sparking joy, really.
Yeah, most of these hands, you're just looking to see what you draw here.
They're average hands. When average is, Actually, John's is okay. That's workable.
Yeah, I was gonna say John's isn't bad. John's isn't bad, and Blaine's is also not terrible. You've got some mons to work with. I mean you've got the East pair, but it kind of sucks because it's not any value for you. But
Blaine now Ishan 10. No, Tushan 10.
I believe yep, 2-way still on.
You don't Yeah, I mean, hopefully you can just
It's a little
kill that
awkward, but
penchant, but
it is 2 away. Yeah.
this should just be the one.
1 in the west. Yep.
John Z. Shantan is Ryanman. I would have considered like Sakigiring the 6 already. There it goes.
Boom.
And Isabella's gonna call into Tenpai. Yep, absolutely. 2-4 pin, which is held completely. So we'll have to switch off of that if they want to win, most likely. I don't see.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a little bit unfortunate.
yeah, I don't see any of those tiles coming out. Let's see. 6 doesn't really help. But we'll hold on to it for now, just in case. Seven pin.
This doesn't really do anything for you.
No, just probably trying to decide if you want to drop it with no pins out.
I have opinions about that cut.
That's the one pin to go for the Tanyo, huh?
Each.
It is Tanyao, yes, but
Yeah, it's an option. Meanwhile, Carl did get into Tenpai, is waiting on the 7 on or the 5.
I guess if you don't have Pinfu available and the Ipeco is mostly gone, I do understand.
I mean, it's definitely a valid option. It's maybe doesn't feel the best, but well, he is in the lead, so
It's actually fine.
yeah.
I mean, I think if you had Pinfu or if the
Each.
Ipeco wasn't mostly gone already,
Num.
and Isabella does manage to get her win.
Yeah, Blaine ended up getting into Tenpai a different way, so ended up dropping that. And just as everyone was getting into Tenpai again, so ooh, interesting dealer hand here.
Okay. So
is this Chitoy
Pump.
or is this Toy Toy?
I think you just
Toy Toy. Just
Pone
calling.
Palace is open for business in this hand.
Yep, makes sense.
Now the question is, do you don't force Toy Toy here. If you call a dragon,
No, I think if you call another dragon, you take the
you
Tenpai.
cut.
Yeah.
No, we are forcing. We are forcing because of the Haku draw that
Interesting.
we didn't have to pwn it. I don't.
I think they're both. I mean, they're both valid. I probably would have kept it because I'm in first. So
I think. Hold on.
I'm in.
This might be a standings play.
It's possible.
Yeah. No. John is deep. I think this is.
He needs all the
like,
points he can get.
I think this makes sense from a standings perspective.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I would really like. Yep. Looking at the other hands, we've got Chitoy across the way. Just looking to get one more.
Oh yeah, that is a very clear
Mm-hmm. Not much else you could do
Chitoy hand there. I
with
mean,
those.
yeah, it's just too far along that route already.
Yeah. Kind of hard. I mean, you'd have to draw very specific tiles to kind of try to back that off to a normal hand. I mean, you get like a 6, so
There it is.
there it is. So you drop
Slam,
the 3.
wait on West.
Yep, absolutely. Unfortunately, 2 of them are in Blaine's hand, so.
Chi.
But will he think that they're safe because he's got a pair of them in his hand?
I think it's quite likely, but the white comes out first.
Right, of course. I mean, he won't cut it until he runs out of other tiles. Ooh, do you cut the 4 pin here? No, cuts the red. May have cut the 4 pin there. There's a lot of
I also kind of like the 4-pin cut. That actually, I think 4-pin against this Ricci is safer than two.
than the red dragon, which hasn't been cut.
I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. And then Carl didn't call the red dragon. He's just going to use that as 2 free discards. Two pin. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't see a reason why you would call the 2 pin.
Chi.
Everyone's being kind of measured here.
Carl calls into
Home.
K10?
I mean, he's waiting on 7 Mon, but
That is okay. Now it's actually Tenpai.
Dong.
But John does get his 12,000 points here, but not like, and foils
Just-
the Sha Chitoy across the way. So
yeah, I think he just drew into Tenpai too, so rather unfortunate for Blaine there. So now we've got a big lead for John here. I'm the only player above 30k going into round 3. Always feels good. Because of the sliding Uma, you get a couple extra. If no one is able to get back above 30k.
okay. We are set up for additional Dora acceptance if possible here, but looks like a fairly normal hand otherwise.
Yep, if you get the 2, you're happy. If you don't and you draw into Tenpai, either way, you go ahead and you should probably reach that. Other hands, we got Blaine. Kind of an awkward hand here. Might try to
Chi.
go for... No. I think it'd be a little too late to try going for half flush now.
Carl calling into Otozuke Tanyao.
Yeah. Well, there's that second Dora he was looking for. Gonna drop the 5. The pair
I feel like the 5.
to keep they wanted to keep the 2 two-sided weights.
Chi.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Because now then well, you could have dropped the 2. You could have dropped the 2 nines.
We are not balling. We are damaing right now. Do you think we'll see a Sumogiri Ricci? I guess the 3s are 3 out. But Dylan here? What do we drop? It should be the 3.
Dong.
Yeah. So will be the Dama, but Dora 2 makes that worth quite a bit. And Ranjan gets another dealer hand here, is now close to 60,000 points. Immediately drops the Dora, but
Just doesn't see it working in this hand, I presume.
yeah, I agree. That's, I mean, the only other option you might consider is the 7 Mon, but you'd have to draw 2 tiles to make that 9 work. So, and the rest of these shapes are pretty good.
The problem, I mean, obviously, like, John needs to rack up points here. This is not a rack up point hand. What is going on in Blaine's hand?
1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3.
Oh, that's just... So that's a potential Ipeco shape.
Keiko Pinfu, hopefully, if you draw the 8 mon.
That hand is awkward because it still doesn't have a... Well, it has a dedicated head if you just drop 1 mon.
I think you. Oh no, I think you drop if you draw the 8 mon, then well 6. Now you drop the 9 mon.
This is the 9 mon.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, if you draw the 8, then you can drop the.
I think this hand just loses Pinfu a lot of the time.
Yeah. It depends on which order you draw the tiles you need, I think.
Anything... The hand across the way is
Ishanten.
Ishanten.
Yep.
Yeah. So that hand looks fairly strong.
And Carl has
This
a very.
is Tempai. We're Damaing again. Why?
Dama again.
This doesn't have Yaku.
Might just be thinking about your hand. Sometimes you drop and you're like, I'm not sure. Let me think about it for 10 or 2. But yeah, definitely has no Yaku unless he does do the Richi. Unless he gets Sumo, of course.
I'm a little vexed.
I mean, I don't think he'd be waiting on an upgrade for anything here. I don't think you upgrade on
There is not an upgrade to this hand.
Yeah. I mean, other than dropping the pair of West into Tanyo, but like, I don't think that's what you'd be thinking about right now. Carl's just gonna continue dropping. Takes the 1 mon. So if he was gonna win with this hand, I guess that would be a toy.
Blaine, if you do that, you can't con.
You could con for a toy. You just.
You can con if you drop that shape.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's waiting on. He's thinking he can get a West and a North. I mean, and neither of them are cut yet, so.
Keeping that quad is really like just hamstringing his hand. Was this the play?
Seems like an odd tile to make this. Well, it was Dora. He didn't want.
We are waiting for Furi Tandor Tanki.
Yeah, well, since he's in first, he may just be like, I'm not going to drop Dora because that's less value that somebody else can potentially.
No, I assume he just didn't drop it because it's not. He doesn't like. Maybe it's not safe for some reason, but it's fun. It's more funny to think that it's Furi Tandor Tanki time.
That's true. Let's go ahead and con the con of 2 pen there. Didn't draw what he wanted though. Ooh,
yeah, the con finally happens. Both cons finally happen.
Both cons happen.
These hands. I'm not sure what to say.
This is just gonna. I think this just goes down to Rikyoku. I think, unless.
I really wanted to see North Pone into Hadaka Tanki.
There are still 2 Dora
Carl.
Or two 9-pin out somewhere. 2 Dora 9-pin out somewhere.
Drop the North Pone. Nope. Oh, it would have been so funny.
And that's gonna be nobody everybody in Tenpai's. No, nobody.
No.
Funnily enough, even though there were all those calls, nobody was in Tenpai. So we will head to.
I'm like too sleep deprived to have followed the thought processes like happening in that round.
There were a couple of odd plays there, but I mean nothing was like just like way out there. It was like, well, I mean, there's probably a reason behind it. Maybe just not a standard one, or maybe dreaming or something that we're just not getting. But we are headed into all last. Blaine, last dealer here, has the best chance of getting above 30k. Needs 5,000 points to do it. Not a great hand though. Not a great hand to do that with.
No, it's not.
So might just have to. But I mean, doesn't have to get it all at once, of course. Could just take a small hand and try to get it on the next one. Then we've got, let's see, on the right we have Isabella.
Isabella's hand looks fine.
Yeah, not great, not bad, not great, not bad, just okay.
Just fill Conchons. You're set.
Yep. Three pin is
Just one more to
definitely a good
fill.
brother. Yep. Then we've got Carl is just gonna play standard here. More than likely, just drop those honor tiles, but he's keeps drawing them. That's usually what happens to me. I start with 2, and then I'm like, I'll just get rid of these and see what happens, and then I just keep drawing more. And Ranjan has 3 pairs, but yep, gets a 5. Probably back off on some of the pairs here. Yep, and play that standard. Makes sense.
Well, we now have 5 Tanya blocks, so
Exactly.
it's Tanya.
Yep, drops the other one. Makes sense. And is perfectly fine taking Tanya here. Is already in the lead, so just take in the game. We'll take call
Right.
5, so we're in 10 by 4. Only 4 mon.
This Formon looks like it's going to come out from Blaine if Blaine is trying to force Junchan.
Which it appears likely for now. Ooh, well.
Go.
Yep,
And there goes.
Tanya only 1,000 points plus all of the 3 Humbas, so another 900. And Ranjan coming out big with
John
51.
getting a big needed plus 52-ish win.
Gonna be feeling good after that. And then Blaine taking a -6. Doesn't feel good taking a negative second, but it happens sometimes.
Sure.
On the other hand, Isabella 13 -13 third isn't terrible, and Carl just took a -31, just couldn't quite get anything going. Didn't play
Alright.
particularly bad, but
I need to take a 2-minute break while we find our next game.
sounds good. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
And we are back partway into an
Done.
A2 game. It looks like we have Alfred as dealer, Kayla on the right, Rachel across, and I believe that is Brian Seng on the left.
Would be right. We're in East 3, and scores aren't getting. No one's really pulled too far ahead yet, so could be anybody's game still. Dealer's hand. Oh, well, the 5 bond. He's getting pretty good. I think that's Ishanten there. Yep, Ishanten. Kayla on the right. As quite a few disconnected tiles still, but has a nice Sozu block building up there. And then Rachel across the way is, let's see, let's look at that Manzu shape. Really, really nice Manju shape.
It's nice, except it's a penchant.
Well, that's true. That's true. It would be.
Oh, it's nice up until that point.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, would need specifically the 7 to finish that block out. But I'd probably still reach you that if I finished, if I drew the 8 there.
We are holding out hope to stick to the Dora here, so.
Right, you hope you draw the 2 or the 4 here.
There we go.
Here's the 4. Yep. Now you probably drew. Yep.
Penchant. Friendship ended with Penchant.
Yep. Makes sense. Once
Dora
you get
acceptance is
the
my new best friend, etc.
Reach.
exactly. But dealer did get into Tenpai, is going to reach.
Ricci on 9-so only. Half side, like half dead Shabo.
I believe that also wins on. Oh, never mind.
On the dead 8, yes.
Yeah, on the dead 8. I was about to say, I think it wins on the 8 too, but it's dead. So only 2 to draw here. They are both live, so.
We see on the right Kayla having loaded up this con, but I don't think we'll see it fired off.
No, not unless you get into Tenpai, but with as many draws that are left, probably not. Probably just gonna drop safe here. And looks like.
And Rachel across the way is out.
Yeah.
This 6, I believe Kayla is also essentially out.
Yeah, it looks like with only.
We are all out here.
Right. I'll say with only 1 draw left, I think people are just dropping safe, and dealer's gonna get the 3,000, and we'll just go again. Take the 3,000 in tips. This dealer high pie, not great.
Yeah.
Does have a 4, 5, 6, but other than that, not so good. On the right, we still that's still Kayla.
Ishanten already on the right. Not bad.
Yeah, very good. Would like either the 2 or the 4. Probably.
Yeah, the Rion con to fill first.
Yeah, would love the 4 because that would give you Tanyao as well. Across the way, probably just looking to call the white.
Yeah, you don't have the value, but not every hand's gonna have it.
Right, and I'm already in the lead, so me taking.
Yeah, just take my 1,000.
Makes sense, and that's also probably what Brian on the right is thinking too.
We're quite likely, though. You hold Dora until you can't hold Dora anymore.
Absolutely. Look. I mean, you got to react to your draws, but at the current stage, I think he's probably just thinking.
We are. Dealer is Chitoy.
Dealer is Chitoy. Well, not yet.
Well, was Chitoy. Well, was attempting it. The 5-6 cut is very
Well,
clear.
is
about-
Tenpai
Wow.
will drop the 8, waiting on the 2 so.
It is trapped, but if people won't read this as a Chitoy pond, I think, with the honor cuts the way they are.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty standard
Though
drop.
it's curious that he dropped a Ryanman before a Penchon from their point of view. That's suspicious.
A little suspicious. A little bit.
If they were tracking that.
Looks like Brian might be considering folding. Not fully out yet, but
I think this is Brian is folding. And Alfred just chase with Chitoy and win.
no Ura, so just 3,200. But we'll definitely take that as dealer all day.
Boom.
Immediate pwn. Dealer's hand looking pretty
Why do
good.
you get away with it? Why can't you just chase with Chitoy and win?
I wish I could draw
Boom.
Chitoy. I could never draw Chitoy. Anytime I get Chitoy, I'm just like, this is never gonna happen. I've gotten maybe like 1 or 2 out of 3 years of playing Mahjong. I envy the people that can get Chitoy. But yeah, it looks like Brian's just gonna take the 1,000 points here.
Door 2.
Well, could possibly. Well, that's true. Door 2.
So you hope that somebody else ends up with a stranded 1-mon and can't use it and just decides to check it
That's
already.
Good. Yeah.
Alfred probably not going to do that because could technically use it still.
Right. Unless he draws the 5, of course. Then might consider it.
He's considering maybe cutting it right now.
Yeah, the 9 so
No,
nope, drops the 4.
keeps it.
Gonna commit to holding the Dora. That could be interesting. Yep, gonna say that's my pair. Makes sense.
Kayla really can't use it though.
There's the. Yeah, this is looking like a really scary. See, that looks like a really scary Mon half flush.
Yeah, it would be ideal actually
if he could
his
get like
weight weren't in Manzu.
Yeah, like if he could draw another 4 Mon right now, he would be almost jumping out of his seat, going, "Yes, I've got this."
Because as it stands, he'll need to sumo this. Because if it is Honitsu, it's Hanemon. It's not, but you know.
Ooh, Rachel just got into Tenpai with the white. Is gonna Riichi put pressure on the board. A little scary to reach when someone's showing Dora 3, but.
And that 5, Kayla is did not reach that Kanchan, so that is actually safe, or was safe. So the 3 is 3 left in the wall, and the 1-4 so is 3 left in the wall. 3 versus 3.
Well, yep. There's what we said earlier.
Oh, so we're swapping. Actually,
there's 1 2-mon left.
Less good in the wall.
Oh, and then he draws the 3. Oh, savage.
Oh, that's painful.
I mean, I would have definitely would have. I would have did the same thing he did and then been sad.
Will he do it again? No, there's not enough time to Chitoy. At least you know you get your 1,500 point consolation prize. Doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't feel good. Not with the Dora 3, but
I do. The swap makes sense though.
Boom.
You're hoping somebody checks the 2p there.
oh yeah, I think 99 times out of 100 you take the swap there, unless like the tile that you're dropping looks really dangerous to something. You pretty much always make that switch, I think. Dealer hand has this looks kind of like
We
Chanta,
have
except for the
a
5-6.
call. Yeah, I think.
It's kind of awkward.
I think you just play this normally, even if it's not great. Across the way, already a call from Brian. We'll call again.
Yeah, would definitely call the green if it comes out, and then just.
I would consider getting rid of the 4-mon now. We don't really want to end up cutting Dora anyway.
No, definitely don't want to cut the Dora. So as it stands,
I don't really like keeping the 4-mon around. But
Each.
I think see, now it looks scary.
yeah, now it's almost stuck in your hand, I believe, with the dealer Ricci there. Which is a 4-7. There's only all the 7s are still in the wall, and 2 4s are out. So 6 tiles has a very good chance of drawing it here. For now, anyways.
Yeah. Brian in a tight spot here. The other folks look like they're folding. Yeah. Alfred and Rachel are basic. Well, Alfred, that 9-so is not a fold.
Not all the way. Ooh.
No, we're Mawashi on the left.
Or Penn tempting Rachel to go back in.
Okay, so never mind. We're not folding. Nobody's folding.
G.
It just looked like it for a second.
That's Tempai
Con.
on 7 only.
On.
On. Ooh, and Con's
On
though.
into 4 Dora. That's
Ooh.
having our content created
Sumo.
on the fly.
Oh, it's Sumo. Oh, there it is.
So
Door 4.
Kayla just creates 18,000 points for herself.
No Urdora. That could have been crazy. Jumps all the way back. Well, ooh, not quite first place. Really close.
It's easy game, they say. Just hit the con button and then 20,000 points are added to your score. So there you go. Big win for Kayla.
All right, so this hand we've got 8-so as Dora. I see one on the right and one across. One across is a little awkward. Really wants a 7 to go with that.
Already some pressure on the table. Alfred pushing this Honitsu here.
Yep, it's kind of hard to put somebody on a Honitsu this early. So if he gets the right tile here, it could be very scary.
I would expect that Brian is going to already start like choking on tiles at this point.
Mhm.
Gee.
Kayla here.
No, decides to check the 7, just like to have a chance to actually finish his hand. But 7s and 3s are dangerous tiles to push against Honitsus because they're like penchants are so common.
Right. Isn't Tempai yet, but
It's
with 2,
close.
yeah, 2 showing, you would definitely be afraid of it at this point. And now that there's more discards out, you're definitely got a better read on it.
No overflow yet. The East the east cut like gives some information as to some progress.
Right. Ooh, Ipeco across the way now.
But Brian is done feeding. The 6 will not come out.
No, I don't imagine so.
The 5, though, saying, I don't think you're gonna pawn this. Oh, I was wrong. Tenpai.
Boom.
That's pretty aggressive. But if you trust an overflow, then you only expect a chi and not a Ron.
That's fair enough, I guess. Ooh, Chitoi Yushanten across the way. But would have to find the right one to not deal in.
Right.
Easier said than done. Just decides to cut the 6-0. Either now Yushanten.
Yeah, and we see Brian hold the south.
South because there's no
But then notice, actually the south is in the discard already.
right.
It's not dangerous.
Yeah, I've done that too, where you look and you don't see it. Then after you hold it a turn, you're like, oh no, wait, there it is. I see it now.
Oh, the overflow finally happens.
No, I don't imagine. Whoa.
Whoa. I feel like that is.
Yeah, I don't think I would have pushed the 4 there.
I think that was probably inadvisable.
Anyways, does end up dealing in there, and we move on to South round. Dealer starts with 2 Dora in hand. Always exciting. But not the best of high pies though. Getting better with that draw. Got a couple of options depending on what we draw next. Other hands. Brian's hands just looking like a standard hand here.
Yeah, definitely.
And got Alfred. He is, let's see. Got a little bit of work to do on that one still.
Yeah, that's still at least 3 Shanten.
And Kayla's hand actually is not bad. That not quite Tenpai, not quite.
7, 8, 9 Sanshoku chance for that hand. Probably the best route to value.
If you get the 8, if you don't, or the 8 pin, if you don't get the 8 pin, you might.
Well,
decides to go ahead and
we
drop
just go
that.
efficiency instead.
Right. Makes sense.
This Dora 2 hand looks like it's going to be pretty hard to convert. Like, this 1-1-2-2 shape is always a mess.
Yeah.
Chitoi, I mean, it's Chitoi, basically, at this point.
Yeah, it's either Chitoi or.
I think. I actually would have considered, like.
If you draw another Dora, then you might be able to do something with it. Because then you could just use the 2 as your pair.
I mean, yeah, this hand is basically, unfortunately, it's basically like not gonna happen without a 3-so or switching to Chitoi.
Yeah, there's the last Dora just came out, so won't be getting that. Well,
you can Richi this and deal in.
Don't.
Yep.
I guess that makes sense. That's an Intotsu on Dora.
Yeah.
But even if the Dora, like, I understand just taking your shot. Even if Dora, you said it was all out.
Yeah, the Dora was they had 2 Dora in their hand, and then 2 Dora were discarded. So
okay.
You knew where all the Dora was. So,
and I don't know if I love that Richi. kind of don't actually. But I guess on the off chance that you I don't remember what the other like two sides of that weight look like, so
Yeah, I don't quite remember. But it's a new hand, South 2. This is Brian. He needs to make up. He's in last, so really needs to get something going here. Yeah, maybe just take Tanya.
Yeah, this is looking pretty Tanya, but you hate to try to do Tanya when one's the Dora and you have to cheat or draw 2 4s.
Right, exactly.
It feels pretty awful.
It feels bad, but we'll see. Yeah, draws the 6 mon, so decides to drop away from one of those. Ooh, now he gets a 3. Ooh, what do you drop here?
I don't know, to be honest with you. Yeah, I guess toss it back makes some sense.
Yeah, 1-3 was already out. Yeah, that's a tough call, but makes sense. Ooh,
Rachel says, I don't know what to do with this hand except just try for 1k.
yeah, Kayla got an interesting draw with a 3-pin there. That's yep, there. In fact,
this is a battle of 1,000 point hands.
Right. Definitely happens. And now that brings us to Alfred's dealership. And these hands are always awkward, even though it looks like it's a good hand, but you're really dependent on getting that 7 or getting to Tempai really quick so that
you could consider cutting this 4 early to trap it, but
yeah, I mean,
you don't want to like.
Yeah, basically wants to draw the 7 now and wait on the west. But
It's
no,
possible
2 wests out. Maybe
that if you draw into a different Rionman, you can just cut 8-9 and
cut
just
8,
say
9.
I don't need this Ipeco.
Yeah, that's very fair, but has not been drawing.
No, it hasn't really
either.
Hasn't been drawing the right way to make that happen.
But looking at the other hands here, Kayla has an Onco of Norths, but that doesn't really help that much. Could be looking for.
It's just some foo, really.
Yeah, kind of an awkward hand until you draw something you connects to something, but I keep drawing terminals and honors.
You really want the 7 mon. I think.
The 7 mon would be great. The 8 mon is interesting.
You cut the 5 pin and say,
for now.
I guess I'm just gonna end up on this Kanchan.
Rachel though. Could get something out of this hand.
Now Kayla can think of 6, 7, 8 as a possibility, but needs a. It doesn't. It's a kind of a messy possibility, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
I don't. That's a bit of a stretch.
You need 2 7. You need both 7 mons and.
You need 2 7s or to do 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, that's.
And then cut a north to get your head back.
That's true.
It's a bit away.
Yeah.
We are. What are we doing? We are calling for K10. Okay. No one really making a whole lot out of this. Brian finds Tempai 5-8. Tanyao.
Tanyao, yep. Would like to have more value than that. Hoping to get an Ura. But sometimes Ricci is Ricci.
And Rachel snap Ricci's this furry 10-3-6.
Yep, can't win.
No, it's furry 10. Wait. Oh no, I misread. The 3 was Alfred's. Alfred's weight, and she's also waiting 5-8.
Yeah, she's waiting 5-8.
Okay, my bad. I was like, what? The 3 didn't deal in. Okay, right. I understand.
No, it's all good. And we're just gonna go to read
So-
tokens here.
Brian and Rachel see same weight. Spider-Man pointing at each other. You know.
Okay, dealer hand looking pretty good. Has a chance to get some points here.
Is there
Rachel,
any?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Is this just
5.
Tanyao? It might be.
I mean, with that draw, I don't see why not. The only thing that would give you any pause is if you drew the 8-mon.
Yeah, that Richinomi Shanpon is not very appealing.
Mhm. I mean, I still might do it, but it would give me pause.
Yeah. Itsu chance for Rachel. I can't really see any other decent route to value on that hand, but needs a 3 and a 6. Across the way, potential Ipeko in the So, but likely just Pinfu. So has 2. No, actually, looks like we are kind of solidifying the Ipeko shape for Brian there.
강,
Yeah, it wants to hold on to the 7-pin
Each.
in case we draw an 8-pin. I believe that's why we dropped the 9 over the 7 there.
Now we have a furry Tenrichi. 6-9. 6 is all held. 2 9s in the wall.
Yeah, would really like the 6, but I don't believe that will ever come out, so
No, I don't expect it will.
gonna have to rely on drawing one of the last 2 9s.
Well, I guess it wouldn't really matter if it came out.
Right, but
시,
I still don't imagine it would actually come out here.
No, I don't think so. Okay, what's the plan across the way is 6 7 8 Sanshoku.
Well, there's one of the 9s,
Don't.
so there's
Nope.
only one left, but doesn't matter. There's the 6.
Sanshoku door Tanyao door 3. Actually a big win for Brian.
Big win for Brian.
Takes Brian to 3rd place by 100 points.
Wow. That's a big swing because you'll jump from the minus. Well, no, never mind, because everyone is under.
And
30K.
takes Kayla under. So
Yep.
he nuts himself about like 18 points of Uma and then gives 5 to Alfred while stealing away 13 from Kayla. So actually quite a lot of points switching around
Yeah,
in that last win.
More points than you thought. That's for sure. But that's going to leave Alfred as the only person walking away with positive points here, 32.7. And the rest of them, even though the points were similar, the Ura difference there is going
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, actually extremely close to the bottom 3 here. I'm sure Brian appreciated some extra Dora from the con. So
And it looks like these players started another game, so I'm sure we'll jump into that one here. And
or wait, no, it wasn't from Kayla. It was from Rachel. I think, right? I think I misspoke.
Yep, here's the start of the next game. And our first dealer is going to be Brian, and he starts out with
럼,
3 Hakus in hand, but
Ah.
doesn't matter.
Does not matter.
Rachel's gonna take
Konomi
1,000
taking
points.
away a potential Mangan, dealer Mangan for Brian already.
Oh, I already saw. Yep. Oh, look at that hand on the right. Ooh.
Okay. Well then.
I bet he doesn't have the green in his hand because that's Dora, and that would be.
Or White's Dora. So
Oh, no, white is Dora. Never mind.
White's Dora. So
I
this
got.
is very likely a Hanemon.
Boom.
Yeah.
Unless we just cash it, like it actually doesn't look like we are going Honitsu with this hand. Oh my
Oh, well.
god.
No, you just dropped the north here all day. All right.
So only Mangan this way. So you agreed Hanemon of East is dropped.
No.
Nope, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. There it is, Hanuman. Fourth discard. Fourth go around too. Oof, nasty.
Yeah, so I mean
Oh.
you take your like you don't if you're given a hand that good and the wind just falls into your lap, you're like, well, only Mangan's fine. It's okay. I didn't need those extra 4,000 points anyway.
Game just started. We're already in East 3.
Yeah, this has been two quite quick hands to start off. This high pie, yeah, the Penchon cut makes sense. This is just Tanya Dora 2 or Dora 3 if someone ever drops the 7 Dora.
Yeah, hoping for the Dora 3. Then actually the Kayla on the right has an interesting hand here. You get the 3 pin, that's Tempai, but yeah, no, it draws the 5, so yeah. Now has got a very good Shanten here.
Alfred 2 Shanten may not have. Probably has the quickest hand here. But. So Rachel doesn't take that pawn. That is not Tanyao over there. Not really worth calling that hand for Tanyao. Brian and Kayla are mochi mochi on the tune, so that's going to slow their hand down considerably. In fact, it might just, given that it looks like Kayla is setting up a Shanpon wait, might just brick the hand.
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself. I was like, both of their hands are kind of going to be hard to win on now. Unbeknownst to them, of course.
We actually are calling for Tanyao after all. Tenpai on Dora and 3-pin.
Tenpai, Dora, 3-pin, and next, mostly live still. Only the one Dora missing.
One Dora in hand.
So three tiles for double pair weight is pretty good. Oh, there's the other Dora. That's not going to come out.
No, never would.
Nope. Not unless somebody misclicked. And then
Rachel Tenpai on Formon.
here.
That's gonna be a deal-in.
Yep.
Oh, that's a decent sized bonk. This hand also quite good. You almost never see hands quite this good when you really need them as dealer, but maybe when you don't need them as dealer, you get them. I don't really think Rachel has a Chanta looking hand.
Yeah. It'd be really hard to pivot that into something else, I think. So you
I
just
suspect that Brian will actually probably at least hedge like a 7, 8, 9 Sanshoku across the way.
yeah, it's thinking about it.
It's his style. And Kayla's hand
Yeah,
probably just play standard.
just got the 5. So
Oh, so we are close. Perfect Ishan 10 for Alfred.
Alfred, yep.
Chi.
And okay, call there for Brian.
Yeah, so the chi definitely says like that's what I'm doing.
Wants the yeah.
Not
Well, it could be 7, 8, 9, or it could be Itsu 1, 2, 3.
it's so he's hedging both for
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
If the 6
Chi.
or if the 6 pin comes out, we take it.
Pump.
Right. Everyone now calling. Try to get their hands advanced here.
Brian, so the 9 so dies. Brian is sad. Trying to find an alternate kind of way to salvage the hand here.
Right. Sort of half folding, sort of looking for something, looking for a new way to get value.
Pump.
But we do have a Tempai for 2 so red dragon, 1 of each left. No, sorry, the 2 so is dead. They have 3 of them.
So yeah, wouldn't really is only Tenpai, because no other Yaku's only Tenpai on the tune.
Oh yeah, that's
not,
right. They need the Yaku.
yeah,
Chi.
it's Otozuke. Not gonna get it from Brian. Could still sumo it. That stuff happens.
Yep, there's Tempai for dealer now. I believe there's
Really taking a second to consider, is this going to be a pwn or a roan? Turns out it's neither. Doesn't check it.
yeah, folds anyway.
Thinks the chances that Rachel is on that weight is just too high to justify this cheap Tanyao hand.
Yeah, I would say it's only 1,000 because no door or anything like that. So it's like it's not worth fighting for 1,000 points here when I'm in the lead.
Pump.
Brian has shifted himself into Tenpai on the tune. Honitsu.
Is that Tempai?
No. Oh, sorry.
quite.
No, it's not Tenpai. It's Ishanten.
Yeah, not quite.
My bad. Yeah, not quite.
Needs
Now it is.
Well, now it is. Yep.
Tenpai's all around. Actually, no, not for Alfred. Alfred is like, I don't really want to have anything to do with this. Now the South is actually dangerous.
Oh, yep.
And Alfred won't know until he looks back at the logs that that hand really just looked nothing like that when he decided to choke it. So
Draws into Tempai at the last minute, and sometimes that happens.
yeah, that's really unfortunate. But you also know what you're pushing when you push that non. So
Right, Rachel is the dealer. 7 Mon is the Dora. Dealer's hand looking like a normal hand here. Next we got the other hands, none of them looking particularly great. None of them looking particularly bad.
yeah, these are some hands.
Not much to say. Not much to say yet.
if you're Kayla, you probably are like, well, Itsu would be a nice way to try to make something out of this hand. If you're Rachel, you just want to fill this Kanchan
And ooh,
and draw
5.
Dora, and then you're set. Easy.
Dealer hasn't been able to draw anything good for a while.
Alfred's hand is building up into a, regular old hand.
Kayla drew a second Dora there, so it's gonna drop the 9 pair probably.
Yeah, now that's an interesting. That 4-5-5-7-7-9 shape is really awkward.
Right.
Well, actually, it's like the 5 connects to like the 4-5-5 is fine. Having the 2 Dora like pair just kind of sitting there without the 6 or the 8
Yeah,
is
because
awkward.
you have another pair in the 1-so there. I mean, yeah, if you didn't have another pair, it's like, oh, I'll just use that as my pair and drop the other 9. But since you already have another pair, it's a little awkward.
Gee.
Rachel cuts the 1 Mon pair, anticipating a potential 3-sided weight on the Manzu.
Alfred calls into Tenpai here.
Also potential Sanshoku for Rachel. This could actually be big if it completes, but the
Gee.
just says, well, I kind of wanted to draw into that 4, but if you're going to give it to me, I guess I have to take it. So this is going to be Sanshoku Nomi, or most likely just K10. As you don't really expect to win the hand at this point.
Right. Then we've got Alfred is waiting on 6. Yeah, 6 Mon. Which is dead. Yep. So won't be getting that.
Okay. K10 for Rachel and Alfred.
Take another dealer repeat and this high pie, not amazing, but not horrible. It's got a door in it. Hopefully we can get the 7 to make that work.
These penchant like waiting on indicator to complete are like kind of painful, but you end
Right.
up with them way more often than you'd think.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not an amazing hand, but it's probably not one you're like sitting there grumbling about. And it's like, well, we'll just see what happens here.
Alfred, potential Itsu, needs a 6 and an 8.
It's 6 and an 8. Has the pair already.
Well, pair would be, yeah, the ones, yeah.
Right.
Well, now we just have too many pairs. This one draw, yeah. I think you cut the 2 there if you're like, I really am just gonna wait on this penchant.
Right. I think that's
here.
I want to use this Dora, so I'm gonna use the
Right.
1 as my pair, drop a 9-so later.
Boom.
Seems reasonable to me. Oh, it could also be this could also be Sunshoku 4-5-6. I mean,
That's true. I didn't spot that, but that's a good point. Kayla just going for Tanya Dora 2, which is perfectly acceptable. But needs a pawn or the chi the 7 here. 7 loose in Brian's hand could conceivably come out
right.
right now,
Gee.
perhaps.
Yep, there it is. Now is waiting on the 8, which Alfred just drew.
Cut
but
the
it will
one
not be
pair
coming out. Yep,
here.
makes sense. Let's see, how's that looking in the wall? We've got 1 3 and 1 8 left.
8s are both in hand.
Oh, 8s are both in it. Yep, I missed that one, so just the 1 3. But Tanya door 2, great. That'll probably put him in the second easily.
This is you can't cut the door at this point.
No.
So this is really just saying, okay, like I'm just gonna make sure my other like shapes complete.
Right.
Give myself the best chance for that to happen.
G.
This is Itsu Tenpai on 6-9. So for Alfred, there are
1 2 3 1 9 left. And I think that was the last 6 that was just drawn, I think. Nope, there's one more.
one of each.
Yep. One of each.
Somewhere.
Ooh.
Boom.
That is aggressive.
Deals into the Mangan hand. And that's definitely, since you took that off second.
Very pricey K10 push from Rachel there.
Didn't think that was dangerous for some reason.
Boom.
All right, we've got, this is Brian, calls for south. Which,
Kong.
well, okay, con.
We're balling.
We're just
no additional Dora for Brian. One additional Dora for Alfred if he's going to wait Peitanki. Or I guess 2 if he wins.
Draws 2 easts in a row, feels bad.
Yeah, it does feel pretty bad.
Draws 3 easts
Oh,
in a row.
no.
Yeah.
This is why the bots tell you
Boom.
to cut like dragons over your seat wind. They
Exactly.
know.
Just know I was going to draw an Arco of East and would have been real close to winning. Thinking about calling the 3-so, decides not to.
Yeah. Tenpai on 3-6. Currently all fairly snug in the hands.
Yeah. All the ones that are drawn so far.
I
That
think
would be...
Alfred might cut a 3 again if drawn, but otherwise they all look quite usable.
Right.
Oh well, now the penchant. So now Kayla can't use the 3.
There's the last 6.
Last 6.
But still 3
Lychee.
of Sanso, so.
That is 3-sided for Rachel.
Yep, 3, 6, 9.
Ipeko, Pingfu Ipeko, potential Tanyao.
Ooh, that could be big.
That's
There it is.
Not
Not
that
the-
is the Yasume, but that's still 8,000 with Ura. So
Yeah,
it didn't matter that it was the cheap end. Rough night for Brian.
Yeah, feels a little rough there, but it happens. Now is the only one under 30K. That's the big problem. Really needs to make up a few points here to try to get back some.
Boom.
Kayla's just gonna call red here. Makes sense. The hand is
Yeah.
mostly ready to win, so we'll just take our points.
Alfred's hand here otherwise looks the best, but
Right. Though depending on what Rachel draws, she might be.
especially with that draw, actually might be in a position to fight here with like just Pin Fudora 1, which is worth fighting.
Rachel's up to 4 pairs now.
Gee.
Drops the 9. Interesting.
Kayla Ching into this Kutsuki Ishanten here. Not great with the 5-8 having the overlapping acceptance, but maybe you can swap out the 8
Right.
here. Well, there's your Tenpai, so.
Yeah. Yeah, take the Tenpai. Not great, but
I guess you keep the 8 because if you draw Dora, you're happier that you kept it, but.
right.
Interesting and complicating draw for Alfred.
It's sort of the 8.
Decides to change up the shapes to accommodate.
Yeah. Wants to hold on to the Dora, so makes sense.
If you have to take an Arianman, you take the one that has 2 Dora in it instead of 1.
Gee.
Brian's gonna chi for 1-2-3 Sanshoku.
Yep.
Oh, and Chanta as well.
Yeah, so Chanta.
Well, that makes it a little more awkward.
You can just cut the north back.
Right, could cut the north back.
Or you could.
Well,
Yeah, it gives you some flexibility. That
Boom.
is
Yep.
really unfortunate. Though.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
You're like, why that tile?
Like out of all the tiles I had to draw the one that deals it.
These hands.
These hands all seem pretty slow.
Brian can call, but
Right.
it feels so bad to call for your pay no me
Pay no me when you're in
this
last. Yeah.
deep.
It really would like some more value. It doesn't even have Dora or Dora acceptance. Really awkward. Might be able to finagle a 7-8-9 Sanshoku.
It looks
but
like that's, you know.
I mean, it's a dream.
You keep the 8-pin just in case.
Right.
I suppose.
Right.
But we're not confident enough in it to make this call.
Yeah.
To confirm it. That our plan or whatever.
Very, very, very awkward. Would love to get more value, but may just have to settle for what I got. Stop anybody else from getting more points and hope for a more valuable hand next time.
Kayla draws into a pretty good Tushanten, but may end up cut like the Dora is a little loose in the hand right now, and there it goes.
Ooh, Ipeko draw.
But you get your value back.
Right. Would like the yep, there it is.
Wow.
That's the 3.
A series of pretty great draws for Kayla.
Is now looking for a 5-8 Mon. Which looks like 2 are out, 2 of both are out, so we got four tiles to win on. For Richie Ipeko.
I don't think anybody else here has any impetus to fight this.
I
Any good reason? This should just be folds all around.
mean, the only one I could, which is a stretch, but the only one I would even see any thinking about fighting would be Alfred, but even that's a stretch. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see Alfred as so assertive that he'll fight a dealer Ricci like with a bad shape from the lead
Right. That's what I'm saying.
and no
It's a
and
bit
no
of a
value.
it's a bit
Yeah,
of a stretch because
Come.
he's in first, and like why would he fight? I mean,
We're seeing if there's a route to K10 that involves we have the 9 mon still. The 2 looks quite safe.
yeah, fairly safe with the 5-6 out there.
Eight's
Maybe.
definitely
Yep.
like both Suji and Sojagawa. Yeah,
Well,
yeah. So like
7
saving the 9 for when you really need it.
Rachel might be able to get. Oh,
Should
there
be out on this draw.
the 9-so deals in. Oh, I
This
guess.
should not. Probably no. The 9-so
Oh
won't
well,
deal in
well,
because
it's
it's
not
pretty
about
10.
no Yaku. Yeah, no Yaku. It would deal into Rachel, but that's no Yaku. So.
も
Oh no.
Yeah, it's Brian has Yaku, but it's pretty 10.
Right. I was looking at the wrong hand. My bad. But we'll still deal in. Having a
Yeah,
Brian's having
Brian
a
having a real rough night tonight.
rough night.
What's going on here?
All right, Kayla still in the dealer seat with
Probably some kind of Tanya Dora 1. I
yeah,
assume you never drop this Dora with a hand like this.
unless you
Unless
get
you just draw into a whole Chinitsu.
or I mean 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. I mean we could dream for the Akumon, probably not, but you know. As the
Well,
right
it looks
as
like
the right
actually maybe the other shapes are going to complete and the Dora is just going to be left floating, so I don't
yeah.
know.
Doesn't call the 5.
Anything else going on the table? Alfred potentially call for Hatsu Dora 1. Rachel has 2 Dora.
本
And actually has a pair problem in the hand right as of right now. Probably going to start dropping one of these 2 pairs right now. Which one?
Well, he drew
No, we
another.
are hedging Chitoy.
Yeah.
I would not have made that decision, but I guess I understand it.
I mean, he drew another Dora, so it was like I don't know. I want to keep both Doras. So
No, we are we're Toy Toy.
I would have to assume so.
I feel like this
Ooh,
hand
is
was
that Tenpai for Brian? No, not quite.
本
Brian's high rolling.
Yep. Wants to go
We're
for the push.
greeting.
Yep.
The wall hands you Manzu. Will you reconsider? No.
Not yet.
Alfred Tenpai on 1-4. Rachel holding actually half that weight.
1
No, we are not. We are not high rolling. We are
That's to
potential
settle.
Ipeiko.
Yeah, decides to settle for the potential Ipeiko
Not
here.
Pinfu. So actually not a ton of value in this hand, unfortunately.
Yeah, decided the Chinitsu wasn't coming together though, so we'll just settle for what points we can get out of this hand with people calling and
1 9 left in the wall. 6s are all used up.
unlikely but possible.
Alfred wondering, yeah, I don't need this senpai.
Kayla just has not been able to draw the tile she needs to get into Tenpai.
The last 9 flows into Rachel's hand to give her Tenpai at the last second.
That leaves Kayla as the only one not in Tenpai. Has to pay out 1,000 to everybody. But it's still in
So,
first, so
yeah, fight for first, now pretty close. We'll have to see what happens.
yep, the dealer has Dora 1 in hand, so
I feel like the story here is mostly that Rachel can easily cash in on this double south in the pocket here and just like snatch up the pot.
yeah,
Do you
she's
call? You don't? She didn't call though.
didn't call. Yeah, that's
Does not want apparently the easy like 4,000 points.
yeah. It's trying to gets a second chance at it. No,
No,
gotta stick
we
with
do
our choice.
not want our easy like pot
Ooh, interesting draw
grab
for
here.
Kayla there. 5 5 6 6 7 7 8 8.
Okay, we want a Ricci for Rachel, it looks like. Oh, Kayla has an interesting potential weight here
If you get the 7, you're looking.
at the like the special 3-sided Chabo.
Right. 5 so,
Yeah.
8 so, 8 mon. If you get the 7 pin.
Right.
Well, okay, now we'll upgrade to the 4
Yeah,
set.
maybe we'll see it. Could be funny wait time.
Mm-hmm.
1 2 3 Sanchoku looks like a potential play for Alfred here. Is Ishan 10 for it? Kayla decides to switch to Ryeonmin. Makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Deciding whether or not to cash this hand out as Tanyao. Decides no.
Yeah, especially since that was
Boom.
Dora, made a lot of sense to switch there. Well,
You don't want this 4, yeah.
yeah, we'll just switch them out real quick.
Tenpai, Rachel decides it's late enough. Maybe I will take my cheap win if I can't draw into Tenpai.
C.
Mm-hmm. Of course, Alfred has most of that weight in his hand.
Kayla also
Don't.
says, yeah, let me just cash this in. It's third row.
Third row, we'll take our 2,000 points. I'm in first. We'll just take this to all last. Here we go. That's gonna be South Dora, but no South. No one started with a South.
Yeah, no, none on the board.
No one has to worry about, am I get well? Okay. Nope, just gonna come right out. All right.
Brian's hand looks not much value, but will finish the fastest, most likely. I think. Though Alfred can call, actually, and I would have a fairly fast hand that way. And I think is the kind of player to say, yeah, I'll take a plus 15 second.
Right.
At least that's my read on it.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where you are in the standings and
Right.
how many games you have left and all that. But I mean, this early in the season,
No, calls off. That Haku didn't even lag. It's Chitoy,
Cheetoy, interesting.
I guess.
Could also be just I'll pass
Or
the
just
first
some
one, take
kind
the
of men's in
second.
hand.
Yeah.
That so that it's interesting. The Haku didn't lag. The
Hmm.
Shah did.
Right. Well, it seems like again, maybe it was one of those. I'm not taking the first one, but maybe I'll take the second one.
Maybe.
Sort of calls. Rachel looking for a Monzu, a connecting Monzu
Pong.
here.
Yeah, so we are now Achazuke on the last Haku.
Right.
I kind of wonder if you should have just taken the first one,
Gee.
if this is how the hand was going to end up.
Rachel does go ahead and call into Tenpai, winning on the 5-8. So, but ooh, the 8s are all holed up,
Yeah, no
and,
Sanshoku for you.
and 2 5s in hand plus the one I've already had means I've only got one.
Yeah, this weight's pretty dire, but
Yeah.
Ryukyoku not actually really a bad result.
Gives me another chance.
Dom.
Oh,
One of the 8s came out.
yeah, I guess actually
It drew into Tenpai.
was
They drew into
slimming, was slimming that shape down.
Yeah, drew into Tenpai with the 6 mon. Switched to 789 and a 678. Ended up dealing in.
Understandable, and not really that expensive.
No, not that expensive. Didn't really change the overall standings at the moment. Let's see here.
Brian's hand has pretty wide acceptance in the middle tiles, but still has 4 pairs.
Ooh,
Makes it kind of awkward.
Kayla draws the 8 mon and decides to drop the east pair. That makes sense.
Yeah, that hand is already Ishanten.
Yeah, we're in first. We'll take whatever the quickest way.
You might even just Dama this Pinfu.
Yeah, we just want to get out of here as quick as possible. All right.
Oh no, I misread the shape. It's not Ishanten. Sorry. I must have read that as a 6, not a 5.
Let's see. Alfred still isn't drawing anything useful.
Yeah,
Yeet.
that hand doesn't look like a winning hand.
No, but
Brian Ricci's 3-6 pin.
3-6 for possible Ipeco. Ooh, there's
That 3 will be held.
Yep.
1-3 left in the wall. So Kayla's 3 is now, won't drop it before the honors.
No, it's loose, but it's still a couple
No,
of draws.
Kayla will just fold here.
Yeah.
So I think actually Brian basically needs to sumo the last 3. I don't see another reason he wins the hand here.
Yep. 9-9.
Yeah, nothing too surprising going on here.
There's the other 3.
And the last 3 pops into Kayla's hand, so this will be going to Ryukyoku. Unless somebody pushes for some reason.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I bet everyone plays safe here, and this just goes to Rikyoku. Well, it depends if Rachel gets to Tenpai or not, basically.
Yeah, I do think that that's probably, well, even if Rachel does get to, oh, you mean if there's another round, right?
Yeah, if there's another round. I was like, the game might be what she is in Tenpai.
Yeah,
And
so maybe this goes to South 4-2. Quite likely, I think.
yeah, Rachel probably wants another hand because she's got a chance to take over second with a good hand. So
Right. I think we will.
probably won't purposely drop out of Tenpai.
I can't imagine at this point what you could draw that's so hot that you would fold out on it. That doesn't, well, yeah, so you can just like
Yeah.
slide the one.
Yep,
there.
exactly. So we will get the Rikyoku payments, and we will get the next hand. That was not
Actually, now Rachel
well.
slightly overtakes Alfred now in second.
Oh yeah, that's true with the Rikyoku payment. That puts her just ahead. But of course, any win here for
홈,
Right.
any sumo or any loss of any kind means that you're back into third. So you gotta play careful here.
Alfred's hand pretty fast, has 3 Rionmen, 2 Shanten. Probably the fastest hand on the table. Though, well,
Well,
Kayla's already called.
Kayla just wants Tanyo.
You
Don't know.
you have to chi 7-8 here. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I was say you definitely don't pawn that, but you could cheat.
リーチ、
No, but you're right. Alfred gets to Tenpai first.
Unfortunately for Alfred, the one's already all eaten up.
Yeah, the ones are already gone and not going to be coming out. So just waiting on 3 of the 4s.
That's sumoable. We expect sumos here in Armel. Or it might flow out of Kayla's hand right here potentially.
There it is. Oh, is that enough points to? No.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
That's a win for Alfred.
Yep. Since it was directly off the leader, that was enough to take over first.
Right?
And Rachel's gonna end up with a positive third.
Big bummer game for Brian. Unfortunate. He's my old clubmate, so I usually want to root for him. But these things happen. Mahjong Tanoshi.
All right. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, there is an A1 table that started a couple minutes ago, if we're still good for that one.
Just one moment while we address something real quick. All right, folks. Well, thank you for tuning in. Our broadcast director has to sign off for the night, so that means the rest of us will also be signing off for the night. We appreciate you joining us here for Monday Night Mahjong. If we could get to the splash screen for the outro, and so make sure to visit us at AmericanRichi.org if you're interested in our league and would like to join. We are only a little bit into our current season, so if you were to join, you would be joining in for the next season, which is summer. It starts, I think, in June. But if you want to join early, you can, do practice games, like see what we're all about, participate as a sub, all of that. Catch us for updates on X or Twitter at @AmericanRichi. And if you are interested in previous casts, we archive all of them on YouTube at tinyurl.com/armolyt. And again, thanks for joining. My name is Michael, and I have been joined by Jeffrey, one of our new commentators, and we are signing off for the night.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up. I know we will be having a Wednesday broadcast, our regular Wednesday broadcast, so be on the lookout for that.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.